view that is, eh? What a view that is. Oh, great to see you again. Today the weather forecast was for some real nice still weather, so I've trekked over to Cumbria to a place called Wastwater, and I'm hoping to get a lot of reflection in this lake with the mountain backdrop. But what I'm really interested in today is going to a place that I've never been to before at Wastwater, and that's right down this part of Wastwater. It's about another half a mile down the track there. Traditionally, most of the shots at Wastwater are down towards the Scarfell Pike, and it's one of the it's been voted one of the greatest locations for views in the UK. It was a couple of years back that. And traditionally most of the landscape shots are down that way, but because it's a bank holiday weekend I've decided to get out of the way and there's not as many people about. So I'm going to probably using my 10 stop and my 16 stop ND filters to get some really long exposures, and if the water's a bit ripply like it is now, maybe I can just bring out them reflections. If it calms down and the natural reflections are coming through the water without ND filters, I'll use that as well. So yeah, so there's a bit of high pressure for the next couple of days, and that's one of the main reasons why I've come across to do some reflection photography and some long exposures. So I'm glad you're joining me on this beautiful, beautiful view. So I found my first composition. Unfortunately, there's not going to be any reflections in this shot because the wind's picked up a bit. But what really drew me to this image was these beautiful foreground rocks here. I'll show you on the screen. So it's really minimalistic, and this beautiful backdrop. There's a little bit of light in the mountains in the far distance there, and lovely clouds forming. I've got my 16 stop filter on, so it's really going to smooth off this lake. I'm at f9 and it's given me an exposure time of 5 minutes and 20 seconds precisely. So yeah, just unfortunate that the wind's picked up a bit, but I think this is really going to give sort of a really minimalistic type of image, possibly black and white, possibly colour, not sure yet, but I really like it. It sort of spreads out, the rocks spread out to the right and then fork off to the left, and I think it just really nicely balances well, particularly with this beautiful backdrop we've got here. So after the last shot that I'd taken, I retreated back to the van because the weather had turned. It had been forecast for sort of fair weather, but it's just gone really overcast. The wind's picked up a bit, which wasn't forecast as well. So although it's not really windy, it's enough to take the reflections out of the lake. So what I've decided to do is just come back to the van for a coffee, reevaluate what I'm going to do. The shot that I was wanting to take and planned, I'm going to do tomorrow morning now. The fence shot into the lake. So I'm going to do that tomorrow morning, and this afternoon the weather looks, it's saying light cloud, light winds, but the winds are about 7 to 8 miles an hour at the minute, so I'm probably not going to get any reflections. But I'm going to pop out this afternoon and put my 10 stop and 16 stop filter on and see if we can get some unusual long exposure images. See if I can get some something a little bit different this afternoon. And then tomorrow morning I'm going to pop and do the fence shot into the lake, and yeah, I think that'll be really cool. So I'll see you a little bit later this afternoon. So I'm back out this afternoon. I've had to work really hard with this shot, and there's so many people about this bank holiday weekend, and yeah, it is what it is. So I'm using Scarfell on the horizon there. I'm going to have that right on my top third. Using these foreground rocks down here, and I've got some rocks on my left hand side to keep your eye there, keep your eye in the scene. And I'm going to be using a 16 stop neutral density filter again. It's giving me an exposure time of 5 minutes and 30 seconds, somewhere around there. Yeah. There's some nice light on Scarfell at the minute. That's hopefully going to stay there while I'm exposing this 5 minute exposure. Hopefully these people that are canoeing in the lake will disappear with this exposure as well. So if not, I'll just clone them out in post. So yeah, it's been a tough one to find, this one. I'm not quite sure that the balance of it, and it's just the right hand side of the composition that I'm really not really worried about, but I'm not sure it's balanced properly. Looking through the viewfinder, it looks okay, but we'll see when we get it on the computer screen when I get home. So yeah, another long exposure. I'm at f11 and about 25mm. I've bung the ISO up to 200 just to keep the exposure down to around 5 minutes, otherwise it'd be up at 7 or 8 minutes. So yeah, so I'll pull the trigger and I'll show you in a second. So folks, last shot of the day. I don't mind admitting it, but I've struggled today, even though we're in a beautiful place. Sometimes just get a mind block with compositions. I think it's because there's so many people here today, and I'm quite conscious of people being around. But this last shot is very similar to what I've been doing most of today. Foreground rocks, beautiful light on Scarfell. I've got a 16 stop neutral density filter on. It's giving me an exposure time of 2 minutes and 30 odd seconds. I think it's because the light's brightened up a bit, and we might get a few reflections in the lake this time. So yeah, around f9 and about 25mm. So yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle today, but let's see if we can finish it off with a decent shot. Right, that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning everybody. I'm a bit tired this morning, didn't get much sleep last night. But this is was my planned shoot for yesterday. Obviously the weather wasn't playing game, and it's not particularly great this morning. I was expecting a decent sunrise, but it's not materialised. Anyway, I am going to take this shot anyway. It's most probably going to be black and white if the light doesn't materialise. Definitely no reflections today, but I'm definitely going to do some a long exposure. Might put the 16 stop or 10 stop on it and convert to black and white. So just behind me here is the fence shot that I was talking about yesterday, and it reaches out into the lake obviously and onto Wastwater head. There's a nice bit of light actually in the lake here that's reflecting off the clouds and the sky, but it's going to really need to be pulled out in post, I think. Yeah, I think it's really going to need to be pulled out in post. I will set up my shot and then I'll run you through it once I get set up. Right, so settled on my composition. I'm using obviously this fence line to go into the lakes. Wastwater on the horizon there. This tree line I'm using on the left hand side as a draw as well. I'm going to convert it to black and white because the light isn't perfect. There's a little bits coming through, but nothing special really. So it's going to be black and white. I've got my 10 stop filter on it. I've not got any graduator filter on it because the sky's okay, and I'm looking at about 150 seconds for this shot. So yeah, could have been a bit a better morning, but same as I say, 90% of the time you don't get the conditions that you want. So here goes. So I've retreated back to the van after that last shot, and that's me done for this little trip. The takeaways from this video for me, not for you, for me, is definitely not to come to the Lake District and bank holiday weekends. I knew before I set off that it'd be like this, but you're given 2 days off work and you just go and do what you can. But it's been really quite tough. I think it's more or less that the compositions that I were looking for and I couldn't get to because there were that many people about, and then I thought I was sort of being pushed into compositions just to make this film, and I'm not sure. I like the first image that I did yesterday, the one after lunch and the one at sort of tea time-ish. I'm not overly happy with, but I'll always show my images on YouTube no matter what, because this is what landscape photography is like. It's not brilliant every time you go out. And then this morning the light wasn't great, and this was one of my planned shots. I will convert that one to black and white though. But just the weather forecast just didn't go in sync of what it said. So these are the things that you do when you're a landscape photographer. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. In fact, 90% of the time it doesn't happen. But it's just nice being out and about, this time last year we couldn't go anywhere, could we? So yeah. So yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge, this one. I hope you've liked the video. I'd really appreciate if you can get some comments down below. I'd really appreciate it, because it sort of, I want to establish this channel in some way, and the only way of doing that is getting feedback from yourselves and comments, good or bad. I'd really appreciate it, and I'd appreciate it if you could share the video with some of your friends or people that you think might like my channel. And some a thumbs up would be fantastic, and I really appreciate you watching this video till the end, if you've got to the end. I'm hoping that I'll see you on the next video and my next trip. So for now, you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later on.